All right, so welcome to the social media and mental health lesson. So the first thing that you're going to see in terms of the lesson is that you have a presentation, and it is going to have just a few notes that I'm going to ask that you write down into your notebook. But I am going to go through kind of the presentation really quick. But you're going to find it. It's going to look like an assignment. It won't be graded. There's no really way to submit anything, but you are going to read through the presentation and some of the key things. So we are going to be talking about mental health and the ways in which maybe social media and mental health are linked together. But I always want to remind everyone, anytime we talk about these issues or just in general, is that these are really difficult topics, especially if you're dealing with mental health issues on your own. And I do want to make note that if anyone has having suicidal thoughts, or you know of someone who is having suicidal thoughts, there is always help. And this over the summer, the Let's Talk Lifeline, the National Suicide Crisis and Prevention Lifeline, consolidated and made a 3-digit number. So just like 911, where you call for emergencies, 988 is the Suicide and Crisis Prevention Hotline. And you can call this number at any time if you or someone that you know is struggling with mental health and is contemplating suicide. And so I just want everyone to be aware of that and just know that there is always help. If you click on this image, it brings you to the website. And please reach out to this number if you ever need anything, and reach out to people that you know and can trust. Secondly, there are a number of resources. I know you're not at the high school, but there's a lot of resources at the high school to support mental health and physical health needs. And this is a list of things, resources that you have through Burnsville High School. So we have counseling department, we have social workers, we have school psychologists. All these people can connect you with people that will give you help. Okay, so getting into our content, teens and mental health. So we are seeing an increase in mental health struggles amongst teens, you guys, and adolescents. And we've really seen a sharp increase in the past 15 years. So a couple statistics, more specific statistics here, you can see that there's been increases of about 60% in terms of adolescents who are reporting having major depressive episodes, as well as suicide rates have dropped nearly 60% since the early 2000s. And so the causes, there's a lot of theories and different research on what is causing this. And one of the research, or some of the research, has shown that puberty and going through the changes in our body is actually happening earlier than it did before. And not only is puberty happening earlier, but we have much more stimulation and information than ever before. And so part of what happens to us during puberty is that we develop, obviously, into adults, and there's ways in which our body changes sexually and things like that. But our brain is also changing. And the brain is preparing this creature, you, to be aware of social information and also to crave social information. We're becoming more competitive. The hierarchy becomes more apparent. But prior to this, we weren't being flooded with tons and tons of information as we are today with social media and our phones and the internet. And so what we're finding is a lot of the brain is not because our mind changes first, and we're now becoming much more aware of all this social information coming at us. But later, our brain develops more rational thought and helps us deal with all of this information coming in at us. And that's how we kind of get out of adolescence, get out of the teenage years and into more of adulthood. But the problem is that so there's this mismatch, but now we're being flooded at a very young age with all this information through social media. And so you're going to be investigating the link between social media and mental health through 3 different assignments. The first assignment is going to be a video. You will go to part 1. This is the video in part 1. You'll answer the questions on the worksheet. The second one is about Instagram and what Instagram does to teens. It's a podcast. So for the first one, the video, that will be due on Monday, today. Tuesday will be the podcast. And then Wednesday and Thursday is going to be an article titled A Teen's Journey into the Internet Darkness and Back Again. I am going to I am going to read that article out loud, and I'm going to create a separate video where that article is being read out loud. So look for that and follow along. It's a little bit difficult of an article. It's definitely one that is a little bit longer. So I'm going to ask that you, if you would like to, you can read the article on your own. If you don't want to, you can listen to me read it to you. All right, so that is going to be the 3 assignments for this lesson. And reach out to me if you have any questions.